Thank you, Chair. I'd first just like to welcome all the states, the RBAs, and my colleagues to this youth-led plenary. My name is Jessie McInnis, and I'm the Youth Vice President of the National Farmers Union of Canada, part of the Via Campesina, and I represent the civil society mechanism. My colleague here is Luciano. He's from Brazil and represents Nuffield International as part of the PSM. So I just want to give you a bit of the lay of the land in terms of how we're going to run the session this morning. During the first hour, the youth will be sharing our experiences during the CFS session and the side events and kind of summarize some distinct and overlapping recommendations that we have to accelerate the progress on SDG 2. The second session will relate to youth engagement with MyPow, and the third will explore the question, how can youth support the uptake of existing and future policy recommendations and guidelines, also responding to the questions and comments posed in the magic box. So as I mentioned, this session will be co-moderated by Luciano. We'll hear from Morgan Cote and Sylvia DeWilly. We'll also watch a few short videos provided by the PSM and CSM constituencies, hear some guided comments from the floor, and then return to the panelists for some final comments. First of all, I'd just like to applaud the effort made by the CFS to prioritize youth concerns by starting this conversation and organizing this plenary session. I express appreciation for everyone's efforts and contributions in bringing this together. The inclusivity of the CFS as a platform anchored in human rights is crucial to its continued success and relevance, but we should also remember that the inclusivity of voices, needs, and aspirations of those most affected by food insecurity and malnutrition should be our highest priority. I must emphasize that although youth across borders, sectors, and modes of food production share common struggles, we must challenge the concept that we share the same needs and aspirations. While some speak of value chains, others prioritize solidarity economies, localized markets, and systems of ethical exchange. While some embrace biotechnology and precision agriculture, others draw on creative, participatory, and democratic innovations building on diverse traditional knowledge systems. While some are not interested in a push to reinvent the wheel, others emphasize that root causes of structural and systemic inequalities that must be addressed in order to fulfill SDG 2. In the climate crisis, we cannot proceed with business as usual. Youth participants in the CSM emphasize diversity, intersectionality, and agency over our decision-making processes. Self-determination over defining our struggles and our pathways for the future is key. Our work is collective and collaborative, firmly rooted in a rights-based approach to transformative food systems change through agroecology and food sovereignty. We build our resilience by practicing and sharing our diverse knowledges and cultures by emphasizing people at the center of innovation. I was asked to share a few of my impressions of the CFS session so far, as this has been my first experience. And I'd like to note that states often speak to the importance of youth engagement, but we need to hear tangible plans of action and commitments that give us agency. This morning, we had a well-attended CSM youth side event, and all week the states took to the floor saying how they wanted to hear from youth, but unfortunately, they weren't there this morning when we spoke. I also enjoyed participating in many PSM youth events, but noted a lack of crossover in the other direction. I would encourage better communication channels across CFS youth in the future so we can better understand each other's struggles and needs. As youth participation in the CFS goes forward, I hope that member states and participant practices will reflect the values we speak about. Youth are here to speak for ourselves and should not be spokespeople for others' agendas. Going forward, we youth should be involved at all stages of the planning processes, decide who represents us and what we speak about. We must define our own agenda. While connecting with others and building relationships is essential to our collaborative work, we're not here to network. We're here to defend our rights and protect our future. I'd now like to pass the floor to my co-moderator, Luciano.